Well, y'all, apparently there's a terrorist attack that we have to talk about. Just really reeks of a lot of anti-ICE, a lot of anti-DHS, because there was a stolen ambulance that was filled with containers of gasoline, driven directly at a DHS building or place where the building was being rented by DHS, well known and had been protested prior. And then they got out and basically distributed accelerant all the way around. I'm going to walk through the entire thing. This smacks of something, and you guys can tell me what you think. Is in the description box below. Everything will be linked. Of course, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. Guys, we're going to dive right into this because we got a problem. We do, and it rhymes with radical leftist. Okay, let's jump right into this. You can follow me on X at Braden LOA. I want to show you the actual police in Meridian, Idaho. Okay, some backstory on this. There's already been active protest at the building where DHS has rented space to do their DHS activities. That's ICE, okay? Let me get right over here. I don't want to bury the lead on you, like I said. Let's just get to the actual police chief, and I've got a few other things that might sound very familiar. You want a little bit of a teaser? Yeah, we'll come back to that fire in a second. It's weird how this keeps happening. Anyway.
Last night at approximately 11:10 p.m., officers from the Meridian Police Department, the Ada County Sheriff's Office, Boise Police Department, and the Meridian Fire Department responded to a 911 call reporting that a Canyon County paramedics ambulance had been stolen from the ambulance bay at St. Luke's West. Preliminary investigation indicates the suspect drove the ambulance north through the parking lot and retrieved gas cans that had been staged in nearby vegetation. The suspect then drove the ambulance directly into the North Portico building, which houses Department of Homeland Security offices. Investigators believe
that houses Department of Homeland Security offices. That's weird. So let's just back this up a little bit. Let me just catch you guys up. I can't imagine what this would be, because I believe we classify this as a pre-planned terrorist attack. So an individual stages gas cans in vegetation outside of where that same individual steals an ambulance, then loads that ambulance with said hidden gasoline cans, and then goes immediately to a Department of Homeland Security office building and proceeds to, what does he do? Yeah, watch, because I'm sure this is absolutely not a raging psychopathic leftist. I'm sure that would not be, no, that couldn't be it. You know what? Right now, we're in the alleged stage. We'll follow this story for more, so make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. But back to him, let's see if we can get to the bottom of this, ascertain the real issue here.
the suspect poured an accelerant inside and around the outside of the ambulance. At this time, it appears the suspect was unable to ignite the accelerant before being scared off by responding agencies. We want to emphasize that this was a serious criminal act. The theft and destruction of an emergency vehicle not only created risk to responding personnel, but it also temporarily removed a critical medical resource from the community.
And that's something I want to hit on real quick. So you douse the entire thing with gasoline or another accelerant in an ambulance that has compressed air and other things inside of there that are very flammable and can explode, other than the actual car or the ambulance itself. And then you start distributing accelerant and you get scared off because the police come. By the way, thank God that happened. And the big question is, well, it wasn't violent. Oh, was it not violent? Well, you know, here's the other thing, and I've got all these things pulled up for you. Do you guys remember when they were doing this about 3 weeks ago, where they were blocking the entire road, all the emergency vehicles? I showed you clips of the police actually walking up in Minneapolis saying, hey, could you not block the roads for, like, you know, emergency vehicles and police and school buses and stuff? And they basically said, get effed. Yeah. These people don't care about the extenuating impacts of their actions. What they care about is their leftist psychopathic virtue signal. And again, we're seeing this over and over and over again. At a certain point, you just call a duck a duck. Okay, look, speaking of a duck, there's another one I've covered. Because fire has clearly become the MO of these leftist terrorists. And this is what they're just going to do. Any building that has DHS in it is going to be burned to the ground. Weird how that would happen in Kansas in one clip, which is coming up, and this happened in Idaho. It's strange how the big consistency here is DHS or ICE facilities and the buildings are being destroyed. Isn't that weird how that keeps working? Maybe we'll get to the bottom of it at some point in time. I'm just sticking my flag firmly in la lefties. But anyway, here we go. Let's keep going.
There has been a lot of rhetoric surrounding the Department of Homeland Security leasing office space at this location, and comments on social media such as property damage isn't violence is absolutely false. This was absolutely an act of violence. And if the suspect had not been interrupted, there is no doubt this building would have been burned, putting the lives of first responders and others at risk.
You know, and that's something I wanted to address really quickly. Come here real quick. Do you guys remember back in the COVID mostly peaceful riots where they were burning buildings literally to the ground and CNN was covering with chyrons that said mostly peaceful protest? You know, remember that one? With literally the anchor in front of a office building on fire? Well, if you don't remember that, you should look it up. If you do, let me hear you in the comments. But a big thing that was circulating around the left is they have insurance. It's just property. Doesn't matter. No one cares. It's fine to burn things to the ground. That exact same language is now showing up currently in DHS and ICE facilities. Okay, and this isn't even a dedicated DHS and ICE facility. They're renting office space in these buildings. Okay, this is, anyway, hold on. This is really important. Are you catching the theme here? Because we covered this already. This woman, actually, let me zoom out a little bit because I'm still out of office, so I'm trying to get used to this. Remember when this woman got caught? Well, actually, she didn't get caught. She caught on camera burning down a building because there was rumors that ICE was going to buy the building from the owner. The sale went through, or excuse me, didn't go through, and she still burned it to the ground. Remember this? Where you're dealing with this woman. Well, it'll load. Hold on a second. You're dealing with this woman who is literally, come on, who's literally dousing the building in gasoline. There we go. As we're real upset about ICE. That's the whole point, is we're so upset about ICE that we're going to set the building on fire. We're going to douse the entire thing in accelerants, lighter fluid, and gasoline. And by the way, this is really dumb. Don't do this in real life. This checks out that it's a lefty. And she's burning the entire thing down because she's thinking she's virtuous. You guys catching the theme here? The theme is purify by fire. That's the theme. You got this going on in Kansas. I'm going to stop that real quick. You got this going on in Idaho, in Meridian, Idaho. You've got, by the way, the ATF made the statement. I'll show you in a second. The ATF made the statement just to confirm. Stolen ambulance allegedly driven into Idaho DHS office building in attempted arson attack. I just showed you that. You got the ATF statement right here. Responds to Meridian, Idaho, where they are on scene assisting Meridian PD after a suspect crashed an ambulance into a building where DHS is leasing space. Please direct all media to them. Okay. Y'all, are you seeing it? They're blocking roads. They don't care about anything other than what they want to destroy. They want to destroy what they have been paid and told to agitate and to destroy. They want to destroy DHS and ICE. They're going to continue to do this. It is getting out of hand beyond measure. They are now moving firmly into arson. The intent of this person was to steal an ambulance, set the thing on fire in a building they crashed into to destroy ICE. Other building. Catch the entire thing on fire because ICE might purchase it. They're trying to purify by fire, and this is starting to get into a point of domestic terrorism. I don't know. You guys can tell what you think. I will see you guys on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.